Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we're going to talk about the prospective smoking ban that's going through Parliament at the moment. Now, it went through stage one last night. It's a long way from becoming law. It's got to go up to the Lords. They'll do amendments. It comes back down. There's going to be another vote and so on. There'll be a lot of people moaning about it. And there are a lot of people within the Tory party who rebelled against Rishi Sunak and this ban. Now, there's a lot of people in the Labour Party who just went bang straight out and voted for it because it is a way of controlling people. It's not allowing people to have free choice or anything like that. Now, I'm going to give basically a personal opinion. We're going to have a look at the article, but I'm going to give a bit of a personal opinion as we go through the article, because I'm going to suggest to you that basically it's not a good idea. And I will explain why as I go along. But one of the main parts, of course, is free choice. But there are others, and we will investigate them as we go through this piece. It's not a long piece, but I think it's one that we need to look at because it does involve personal freedoms. Let's take a look. So, Rishi Sunak wins smoking ban vote, but senior ministers side with Tory rebels in a blow to the PM. MPs have voted to support Mr Sunak's flagship smoking ban, but the day's debate exposed major divisions within the Conservative Party. Now, we know that there's a lot of people who voted against it and a lot of people who voted for it, and very little was actually done. I think it was all political rather than sort of looking as to the bigger picture. Now, I'm going to present three things about this smoking ban. He's proposing that children born after 2009 will never be old enough to buy cigarettes. What they want to do is ban them for anyone who is younger than, pick an age. And so that no kid today will ever be able to legally buy cigarettes. Well, first of all, that's legally buy. At the end of the day, they'll just get them from other people. Secondly, and this is also important, personal freedoms must extend into the right and freedom to do things that harm you. Now, at the moment, they say, oh, cigarettes are harmful, let's end cigarettes. And then, in a few years, alcohol is harmful, let's end alcohol. Red meat is harmful, let's end red meat. And so forth. And they'll clamp down one piece at a time. Salami slicing, it's not healthy. Oh, it's not healthy. Oh, it's not healthy. And you use this health excuse to try and remove from us our rights, our freedoms, and our ability to do what we want with our bodies. If I want to eat red meat, I'll eat red meat. If I want to go out and drink 15 pints of shitty cider, I'll do so. I used to be a smoker. I was up to 40 cigarettes a day. No more. I've given up. Personal choice. You can do it if you want to. I haven't smoked for years. Why should a government inform its people what they may or may not do? That's number one. That's the personal freedom aspect that I want. Secondly, you're going to end up with a situation where some adults will be legally allowed to do something and other adults will not. Now, that's surely ageist. That's surely a differential in the law. There's no one law applying to everyone. And when you have a law that applies only to some and not to others, then that law is, by definition, a bad law. So if you're going to ban smoking and say, right, ban smoking, no more cigarettes at all, overnight, boom, cigarettes are gone. Not allowed to buy them, not allowed to import them, not allowed to do anything with them. Anyone smoking a cigarette is breaking a crime and will be prosecuted. That's fine, it applies to everyone. I still don't like it. I think it's wrong because what you're doing is you're saying something that was a choice that you decided to do is now banned simply on the whim of someone who doesn't like what you're doing. Again, you should be free to do it if you want. Now, the third argument I've got is this. Us non-smokers, and I include myself as an ex-smoker, but I'm now a non-smoker. Us non-smokers benefit greatly from smokers in three important ways. Way number one, tax. Now, cigarettes bring in about £12 billion in tax, and that's down. It's a constantly falling figure. Naturally, people are smoking less. This is a fact. You don't need to be bringing in laws that ban it. It will just pay itself out over time. But it brings in 12 billion a year. Now, as a non-smoker, I like that. I like the fact that smokers are willing and volunteering to put 12 billion a year into the UK economy. If they ban cigarettes, you're still going to have a need for that 12 billion. But here's the thing. Where's it going to come from? Are they going to put income tax up on it? That doesn't seem fair. Why should I be punished because someone else has been forced to stop smoking? Let them smoke. Let them keep on paying that tax. That's the first benefit. The second benefit is pensions. Smokers don't live as long, which means they're not going to get as much in pensions coming out at the back end. They're voluntarily laying down their lives for the rest of us. It's a noble sacrifice. They pay extra tax and they die early so that the country doesn't have to fund their lavish pensions. I'm taking the piss on that. At the end of their life. That's two benefits. What's the third benefit? The great thing about having smokers is that you've always got someone with a lighter near you. You never need it. You never know when you need a lighter. Imagine a world when nobody had a lighter and it's all of a sudden, bang, you've got to light a fire or something. No lighters. You've got other things as well. Smokers go outside, so you can sit in a nice pub and you can have all the raucous smokers outside. That's not what happens, is it? I'll tell you what happens. When I was a smoker, we used to, after the smoking ban, 2007, we used to go out into the pub garden at the back of my local. All the smokers are out there puffing billies. Where were all the non-smokers? Were all the non-smokers inside the pub enjoying the fresh air? No, they weren't. They came out into the smoking area with all the smokers because that's where all the life was. That's where all the chatting was. That's where all the fun was. This is true even today. If I went to my local, I'd have to go out into the back garden with all the smokers just to sit and chat with them because that's where all the smokers go. Smokers tend to be more chatty. Now, because you do, you've got like mate, things like that, you get chatting. These are the things. It is an absolute travesty by trying to cut this. And so you have all the Labour people thinking it's control. We can control people. If we can get people used to just doing as they're told because we control them, then we can start with cigarettes now, and then it'll be alcohol because they want to turn us into a Muslim state, and then it'll be red meat, then it'll definitely be pork, definitely on there. Oh, pork, oh no, terrible. You know, again, we all know why. And eventually we'll all be eating, bug burgers. Eat your cockroaches, they're good for you, you know. Here, Fagin, this cockroach is rotten. Shut up and drink your gin. Oh shit, no gin. You know, it's that. That's where we're going. It's control freakery by these people. And so no ban on smoking. If people want to stop, fine, help them stop. In the interim, let's keep taxing them and let's keep praising these people for not drawing long pensions. I'll come up now. As I say, it is only the first reading. It's got to go up and down and back and forth. It's going to be a long way before this even happens, assuming it does even happen, of course. There's no way it's going to get through Parliament. It's just a load of old bollocks because there's not enough time. You see, one of the problems you've got is that there's going to be an election very soon. By the time this goes through, goes up the laws, come back, this, that and the other, different readings, committees and whatever, you'll have timed it out. And it just won't make it to the books. But it's the principle of the thing. And of course, 59 of them, 59 senior MPs, Tory MPs, voting against it, including ministers. Goes to show that Rishi really doesn't have his party on side, which is why he'd made it to be an open vote. If he'd have whipped his party into this, he'd have still won, but he'd have had a lot of people rebelling, and then all, especially the ministers, would have had to quit his cabinet. And at that point, of course, that would be the end of Rishi. The cards would have gone in, and he'd be out this week. There'd have to be a leadership election immediately, which meant he would have to call an election immediately, which meant absolutely this law isn't getting through. It's all TikTokery at the moment. It's all, they haven't got time for this, they haven't got time for that. They're running out of legislative time, and everyone just has to keep slowing things down to stop the damage. Anyway, I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. That is just a personal view. It's not really a news view. And just very unusual because as an ex-smoker, I'm not an anti-smoker, rather. I'm not, if you choose to smoke, that's you. I don't care. Your choice. I'm not one of these, oh, must ban it, like some ex-smokers. They're the worst. Ex-smokers are the worst. Not me, though. I'm tolerant. Thanks very much for watching. Take care until next time. Bye.